Welcome back to Water's World. I am Kennedy. Earlier this week, after meeting with top military commanders, President Trump made a comment that left everyone scratching their heads. Watch.
You guys know what this represents? Well, I don't know, maybe it's the calm before the storm.
What's the storm?
Could be the calm before the storm.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
Oh, mercy. And then just this afternoon, the president tweeted this cryptic message. Presidents and their administrations have been talking to North Korea for 25 years. Agreements made and massive amounts of money paid hasn't worked. Agreements violated before the ink was dry, making fools of U.S. negotiators. Sorry, but only one thing will work. So what is the president talking about? Joining me now with his take, it's Fox News contributor and former Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz. Congressman, welcome.
Hey, Kennedy.
Hi.
Glad to be with you.
Very good to see you this evening. So let's talk a little bit about the only thing that will work with North Korea. Please use your X-ray vision, your emotional X-ray vision, and peer into the mind of our own dear leader. What was the president talking about when he made those comments?
Nobody knows exactly, but I do. It's sort of Reagan-esque. There was a time in my lifetime when Ronald Reagan took a very tough stance, and I think the world understood that he might actually pull the trigger, and that caused a period of time where we were at more peace with Ronald Reagan than just about any time. So we have the world's greatest superpower. We have the military might to execute it, and now you have a president who's signaling to the world, i.e. China in particular, we will pull the trigger if we need to, and I think that's ratcheting it up so that there actually is some movement to calm the waters. That's my hope, at least.
Do you think the president is priming us, letting us know that it's about time that we need to? Is that what he's saying?
I think he's priming us a little bit, but I think he's also signaling to the world players, if you have the ability to influence the situation and take down Kim Jong-un a notch so that he doesn't do something stupid, now is the time to do it, because the United States is not going to just sit by, as they did with Barack Obama, and just, hope that one big group hug would actually solve the problem.
All right, and clearly a lot of times when the president talks and when he tweets, when he's talking about North Korea, he is talking to China, and it seems like the relationship has been a little bit more effective, and China has been much more amenable to imposing sanctions of their own when it comes to oil exports, textile exports, and some banking regulations that have been loopholes for essentially North Korean money laundering, for a way for them to get money and goods into their country. And China appears to be tightening the noose. Is it because of the president's effective messaging or something else?
Yeah, but I personally, I don't believe that we're one good package of sanctions away from having North Korea saying, oh, we better slow down. I think there is but one language that they speak, and that is the might of the military. And there has to be some pressure from China. We have to be in unison, obviously, with Japan and South Korea. New President Moon, took a very sort of dovish type approach, but he has actually ratcheted it up, too, because I think everybody's understanding the severity that they're demonstrating, that is, North Korea is demonstrating that they're able to deliver some very strong capabilities. And, when they tell you they're going to take you out, they tell you you're going to rain destruction on you, we're left with no choice but to believe them. So I think the president is positioning us to take some action if need be to protect the United States.
Yes, and he's doing his best to use his unpredictability to our advantage. Well, let's shift gears a little bit, because less than a day after the Las Vegas shooting, Democrats, who refer to themselves as the so-called compassionate party, took the spotlight off the victims and the heroes of the shooting and instead focused on their own liberal agenda. Watch.
They say it's inappropriate to be talking about it because it's too soon. Well, maybe it's too soon for you, because deep down inside, in your heart, you bear some responsibility.
The president, many Republicans want to put off a discussion on gun laws, obviously, put off permanently. They argue now's not the time, though there never will be a time. Those poor dears, they can't handle the conversation.
When 59 people lie dead, what happens is they roll out, and by they, it's not political will. This is a very deliberate, well-rehearsed series of things that the Republicans who are doing the work of the NRA roll out.
Motive and compassion be damned. Well, the same happened last week with President Trump's response to hurricane-ravaged Puerto Rico. The left claiming he didn't do enough because he doesn't care about them. So, Congressman Chaffetz, let's start with the reaction to the shooting in Las Vegas. You had family members who were not reunited with their families. They had no idea whether or not the concert goers they knew and loved had lived or died at the hands of a psychotic killer. We still don't know the motive behind the shootings. There are so many unanswered questions. Yet at 10:03 a.m., Hillary Clinton was tweeting about silencers and how somehow, if there had been an arbitrary law that would have stopped this person from mowing down as many people as he possibly could have. Your thoughts?
It really was disgusting. I mean, at a time we're still in shock and we're mourning. Look, everybody wishes you could put that genie back in the bottle and somehow make sure that that guy in that room with those guns was not able to do what he was able to do. And I wish there was some magical thing that any one of us could do to make that happen. But you've got to understand that we don't understand the motive. We don't understand what's going on here. And if the Democrats were actually true about what they're trying to say is they don't like the Constitution, they don't like the Second Amendment, and they don't want anybody to have any guns. But you know what? I do have a constitutional right to have guns. I happen to have 5 of them. I feel more comfortable with them. But I think the Republicans are willing to talk about a lot of different things, from mental health to how do we make the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms work better, to getting rid of these so-called bump stocks. But you had from Hillary Clinton to late night shows to this professor now at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, saying it was Donald Trump's fault. I mean, it really is disgusting, and it further separates the country. It doesn't bring us together.
No, you're absolutely right. And you bring up a good point about mental illness. And it's the one conversation that a lot of progressives don't want to have right now for whatever reason. If you don't understand the why, how on earth can you tackle the how? You know, how can we keep this from happening again? You can't unless you have those critical and honest discussions that move past the gun control talking points. Congressman, thank you so much for being here this evening. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Kennedy. Appreciate it.
Very good. Coming up,